Hey guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see my email address. You guys want to drop me a line, or if you have an interesting idea or a video that you think the subscribers or the community would like, by all means, drop it off. We'll take it from there. But guys, I'm gonna tell you something. This video here, I was supposed to drop this morning, early this morning. I've been dropping videos like crazy today, but I forgot all about doing this one. You know, and I had stuff around the house I had to do. Now, I got to give a special shout out to one of my subscribers, Sherry Sullivan, for reminding me. I'm human, guys. I do forget stuff. And I spoke a couple of days ago about what the attorney for Emmett Martin III, one of the 5 police officers defending, he's defending Emmett Martin, one of the 5 police officers accused of killing Tyree Nichols. Today, I want to talk about Tadarrius Bean, or Tardarrius Bean. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to play an excerpt of what his lawyer said after the arraignment hearing. And I got to be honest, guys. This lawyer pissed me off. And I'm going to tell you something. Tardarrius Bean, like I said in my other video, they're going to look for weak links. He's the weak link. Now, I also think Justin Smith is the weak link too. But Tardarrius Bean is shook. He's scared. And I think his lawyer's scared too. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm not happy. I'm not really keen on defense attorneys, because some of the stuff they say in defense of their client is stupid. It's video footage that the man was killed and brutally beaten. But I want you to listen to what this man says. I'm gonna play this in segments and go back. I'm gonna narrate. It's a long video, so I'm gonna narrate certain segments. Listen to what this clown says about his client, and listen to the insinuation, and you'll see, excuse me, that Tardarrius Bean is not going to go to trial. I'll be floored if he go to trial. He going to tell. You can hint it in the defense attorney's voice. Listen, check it out.
Were just in the courtroom. I think he's talking to one of the attorneys.
Yeah, that's how is he doing, and how are you prepared to defend him?
Well, I mean, starting out with the notion that he's innocent until proven guilty, which is a rubric of our society in this country, number one. Number two, I know that there's been a lot of statements about Mr. Bean in the press over the last, month, and a lot of those statements are misleading about the person that he is. Mr. Bean has been nothing but a respectful, a good young man throughout his life. And on that particular night, you look at an isolated incident and try to measure the person. And so there are a lot of statements about him as a person that are just flat out untrue. And you look at the level of involvement of each individual defendant. And in that particular case, he was doing his job, no more, no less. He never struck anybody. He never did anything other than his job. Right now, we're in a posture that I've never seen a person charged before anybody knows the cause of death. There's no definitive information regarding cause of death at all. And so we got 5 individuals charged with murder. I represent 1, and it's an honor, because at this point in time, I've never seen people jump to conclusions about an isolated part of a 2-minute excerpt about what was supposed to have happened on a particular night. And I stand by the notion that right now, due process in this matter has not taken place properly. There should be justice for Tyree Nichols, absolutely. But I also stand by the fact that I am going to demand justice for Tardarrius Bean.
Yo, did you guys hear that BS? Ladies and gentlemen, that guy right there is representing Tardarrius Bean. That's his attorney. Did you see how shook he sounded? He sounded like he was about to cry. He sounded like the black version of Bobcat Goldthwait, or whatever his name is. That's who he sound like. If y'all don't believe me, go look that guy up. He sounded like he was going to cry. His voice was cracking. He looked like if you undid his tie, he'd have been drenched in sweat. Ring around the collar like a motherfucker. For real. This dude here is shook, just like his client. He's sitting up there. It's basically it's unfair that Tadarrius Bean is getting a bad rep and all this other stuff. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I told you before they were looking for weak links, right? Tadarrius Bean is the weak link. His lawyer going to tell him to testify against the rest of them. Because look, just like I told you in other videos, they're going to try to say who did what and who is this. Tadarrius Bean, Goose is cooked. He in the same boat as Demetrius Haley and the Mills dude, the fat bald head guy. Demetrius Mills or whatever his name is. He in the same boat as them. Because he was there. Where? At the second stop. Now this guy can talk and sing till he blue in the face. Ain't nothing going to change. And I'm going to show you another reason why, guys. This guy right here is going to be a bad representation for Tadarrius Bean. This nigga here can't handle pressure. He can't. He can't. And I'm going to show you in a second in another clip. But let me say this real quick. Did you hear? This how you know he's going to tell too. I know there has to be justice for Tyre Nichols, but I'm going to demand that it's justice for Tadarrius Bean. What kind of justice he get? Because he was there and he contributed to the bullshit. Right? Now watch the ticky-tack shit that he going to use in his defense. Check out this second part of the clip.
What's in that video tells us that your client, Tadarrius Bean, is innocent.
Tadarrius Bean, according to the video, was seen apprehending a person after.
Every last one of them beating them, man.
Yeah.
That's murder.
Carry on, sir.
You see it like we said. We saw the same thing.
What in that video
That's murder,
tells us that your client, Tadarrius Bean, is innocent?
Say that once again. I can't hear it because you got people that are part of the press that are saying things.
We've all seen the video. What in that video tells us that your client, Tadarrius Bean, is innocent?
Tadarrius Bean never touched him in any way, striking him. Period. Tadarrius Bean has the ability as a law enforcement officer to make a lawful arrest based off of a call coming in. And so at this time, that's where we're standing right now. That Tadarrius Bean was doing his job at that time, and he never struck him. And there has been no information that we have seen as of right now that indicates that there's any sort of information that we can rely on to say that it's murder.
Why didn't he intervene? Why didn't he intervene and stop his colleagues beating a man to death?
I think you hear his voice consistently saying, "Sit up, man, so you can get air," etc., and things like that. I think you hear him consistently saying that. And Tadarrius Bean at no point in time did anything that would be different from a person who's doing his job.
He didn't stop his colleagues killing a man, though.
I'm sorry.
He didn't stop his colleagues killing a man.
So,
why didn't he intervene and say, enough, stop?
right. I want to hear you answer that one.
I want to hear.
That's his duty as a police officer.
I'm gonna do something rare. Have you ever made an arrest?
No.
Have you ever jumped out of a car trying to apprehend somebody who you think might have committed a carjacking, a robbery, a rape, a kidnapping? Have you ever done that?
I've never stood by and let four of my colleagues kill a man.
And if a person gets called on a scene, you have a duty as a police officer to respond. If you're not on that, and to be absolutely clear, Mr. Bean was not. Mr. Bean was not on the first scene, so we don't know what happened.
Does Mr. Bean regret any of his actions that night?
I'm sorry?
Does he regret any of his actions that night?
I think at this point he probably regrets being a Memphis police officer on that night.
Guys, hear me and hear me good. If Tadarrius Bean go into that courtroom with that idiot defending him, it's all over. He better seek new counsel because this guy right here is not prepared. Did you see the guy in the press arguing, talking in the background? He couldn't even keep his concentration. And then he started arguing. Tadarrius Bean didn't do what the yo, keep your mouth shut. You a defense attorney, be quiet. He can't handle pressure. This guy right here he not gonna want to deal with it. listen, all these lawyers know they can't win, especially the ones at the second stop where he was beaten really bad. Tardarrius Bean was there. He's always been a good man, and everybody's putting it all on one particular incident. Listen, serial killers were good people at one time. And then it was one incident that started with them that escalated in other things. This man was on the Scorpion unit. So you can't tell me he was a good guy on the Scorpion unit the whole time, and all of a sudden, an evil bug went up his ass and he killed Tyree Nichols or contributed to such. That's the stupid stuff. And that's why I can't stand a lot of these defense attorneys, because honestly, when he came out, he should have walked to the damn car, because what he said right there made him and his client look stupid. I would have fired him immediately. Hey man, you too scared to do this. You know what I'm saying? Or I'd have just took a deal like, oh man, this dude act like a public defender. Somebody tell me if I'm lying or not. Where you don't know if he can do the job or not, representing you in court. This dude right here, y'all, oh my God, I will be watching this trial. If all 5 of them go to trial, because they all pled not guilty yesterday, if they all go to trial, ladies and gentlemen, you watch, this will be one of the funniest trials and saddest trials ever in the history of Memphis and probably America. This is going to be a mess. And like they said, it's going to be a year or more before they even go to trial, because there's so many particulars that they got to get in order. But this guy right here is an idiot. And if you don't believe he's going to tell him to take a deal, listen to what he was saying. All he was doing was he didn't beat anybody. And that you hear the reporter, hey, why didn't he stop him? Look at his dumbass reply. Look, I must answer it like this. You ever been a cop? You ever jumped out the car? You ever arrested nobody? Yeah, but I know with me wearing that badge, I represent the city, and I ain't trying to get him in trouble. And I ain't trying to lose my fucking job by senselessly beating on somebody or holding them with somebody kicking them in the fucking face and beating them in the face with a baton. That's the thing. They sound stupid. He sounds like a fucking idiot. He sounds like an idiot. And Sherry Sullivan, thank you so much for reminding me to do this. Because, you know, I'll be coming off with these Memphis videos. I'll be repping Memphis hard. I ain't even from there. But I feel the pain of the people. Yo, man, this is crap. This is crap. They gonna have problems. They have no case. How? Listen, when the discovery comes and he opens it, what? Everything he just said, y'all, is gonna sound dumb. When he's in court and they ask him, well, why was Tadarrius Bean not breaking it up? Is he going to say the same thing to the judge or to the prosecutor? Imagine that in court. The DA come and say, hey, well, why didn't he this and that? Because remember, they got a mandate in place in Memphis. He wasn't doing his job. So you sitting there saying that he was a good police officer is bullshit, because he was supposed to use some kind of restraint and stopping the other officers from injuring the person. Now you heard what he said? Look at the contradictory bullshit in the law system, in the judicial system. The lawyer is upset because people are wrongfully judging his client who helped kill a man. All the while, before that happened, they had judged that he was guilty already and passed out their punishment and execution of the man in the street. He gonna sit up here and say, you can see several times he was saying, hey man, sit up. Sit up. That was after the beating. And you held his arms and all that stuff so he could get beat up. And his neck was broke. So how could he sit up? That's why he kept falling over. His mom even said it. His neck was broke, y'all. He couldn't even stay up. He couldn't keep his head up straight. Yo, this guy right here is a dumbass. And so is his client. They're going to have to explain everything on that video. Why was your camera on and going off? Why was it doing that? Oh, he was bumping into me. No, he wasn't, because most of the time y'all was holding his arm like this so the camera wasn't even up on him. Guys, this is stupid. The attorney looked dumb right there. And he gonna look dumber in court. Guys, May 1st they go back to court and we'll have some more shenanigans. But I mean, this is not looking good for this Memphis 5 officers looking, man. And I'm glad. I'm keeping it real. I'm glad. You don't wish harm or ill will on anybody, but these motherfuckers ain't human because they treated him like he wasn't human. Leave me a comment. Tell me what y'all think, man. I'm Stock Market Steve. I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care.